everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into United Voice of Women once again. Yes, of course, this is me, Vani, with you on UVW in conversation with the very, very, very awesome Tanushree Dutta. These conversations that we are having together are surreal and I can't wait to continue.
So at the age of 22 or 23, I was going through this existential crisis, which sounds funny.
But sounds funny. But you know what I'm thinking right now? Tanu, you told me about school with your books and all, how people would ask you for notes and stuff. That's when you told me already about this feeling. Isn't it?
Yeah.
That they only want me because, you know, I'm popular in the school and all that. And I was going on saying, usually people don't feel this way. Usually
if I was miserable, nobody would want to be friends with me.
But
even I knew it as a child even.
But you know what? People don't.
Yeah.
People don't know even when they're adults. Forget about, you know, childhood.
And I don't blame them. It's not like I'm looking down on them for being like that.
Exactly.
It's not like I hate them. We all are attracted to light.
Correct.
We all are attracted to life and energy and glory. You know, even as children,
yes.
You see some children are there in school who are very
timid,
timid. Maybe they have issues at home or within themselves.
Yes.
They have no glow on their faces. They're doing badly at studies.
Yes.
Do they have friends?
Correct.
They don't.
They
Nobody
don't.
wants to be friends with them.
I know that. I know that.
That's
I know
human.
everything that you're talking, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm saying that I myself have felt that people around me have not understood as much as I do in people that I speak just for a minute also. There's so much more I get compared to many others. So I know what you're trying to tell me, but I'm saying that it's rare because I know it. You know, we have our own friends and sisters and parents, and you know, the same thing I want to tell, they don't get it. Even when I explain it to them that this is what it is.
It's life,
you know. People don't get it.
Yeah.
So I have understood, you know, through my years of growing up, that not everybody has that kind of maturity. You don't, even if you're an adult.
Yeah, it's just understanding because you observe life as it is without judgment.
And very few people can do that.
It's like it's so obvious. It's there for you to see.
That's what you think. I think that too, because you know, like so many people tell me so many things about you know the way you're bringing a perspective to stuff, even here on this platform, for example. But all I know is I'm doing nothing. I'm just listening to you and I'm reacting whatever is coming naturally to me. I'm not thinking the way, you know, so many people are thinking that, you know, I have a bigger understanding or a higher understanding.
Most people don't listen. Everybody has the ability to understand and perceive, but they don't listen.
Maybe
you know why they
that's
don't
true.
listen is because they already have thoughts and ideas in their mind. They already have perceptions.
Yes, yes.
And assumptions in their mind.
Correct.
And those assumptions are coming from their cultural background, their education, what they heard growing up, or how they have decided to train their mind to have a worldview. So that's why they're not even listening, and that's why it kind of sort of brings down their intelligence.
Somebody just listening, they find that strange too.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So now when you were telling me, you know, it's so obvious. So I feel I'm just listening, I'm doing nothing else, right?
Yeah.
Because truly it interests me.
Yeah.
It honestly interests me. Everybody's life interests me because
you're not bringing your viewpoint and your assumptions onto the table.
No.
That's why you're able to listen to what the other person is saying and know the truth about them.
Yeah,
you know? And truth is also relative. Like, you know, truth is basically what is.
Correct.
You know, so when I'm telling you about my childhood, you have a clear understanding. Because you're not trying to get your presumption in it.
Correct.
You're hearing as is.
But and I would say that isn't that natural? Because I'm listening about you, I should only listen, right?
You know, Vani, you'd be surprised. Naturalness has gone from the natural world.
So true.
People have become
I'm realizing that.
Yeah. You can't communicate with people because you're saying something to them.
Yeah, and they're thinking,
you can see it that they're thinking something else. Or you're saying something to them.
Correct.
You find yourself, I often find myself, and I've actively told myself not to do that. I've actively told myself never to explain myself. If somebody is assuming something about me, I let them assume.
Me too, actually. I don't really care much about it.
Because people have become very assumptuous. They'll judge you based on what you're wearing,
the way you're talking,
the way you're talking, the way you're looking.
Yeah, everything.
You'd be shocked they will assume
Anything.
about your character.
Correct.
They will assume about your life.
And in seconds.
In seconds.
Yeah.
And they think they are right.
They're right.
They don't even know where they're going in life, but they know.
Exactly.
They think they know where you've come from.
Exactly. And it's not just about people that you meet suddenly, people that you live with too.
Yeah. And if you're a public figure, you are
Even
more prone to this. Because people
the whole world thinks that they know you.
Because they haven't had the opportunity to interact with you and sense your energy. They've only seen on screen. And always remember, like, when we think or we make an assumption or a judgment about somebody, that's why in the Bible they say, judge not, for you will be judged. We can make assessment of people, but we shouldn't judge, because judgment is final. Judgment does not give a person an opportunity to convince you that they're not who you think they are. And judgment also does not leave room for evolution. Because you've already condemned and judged a person.
Stopped it right there.
You stopped it right there, you know. But as human beings, we are an evolving entity, you know. We create our environment.
And that's what happens with the problems with relationships, I guess. Can be all actually, you know.
You destroyed it with judgment.
Yeah, and that is what happens, right? I mean, why relationships don't work. Why it works for a period of time and then later it does not, etc., etc. Be it with anybody.
Because you're not evolving. Somebody who's prone to judging.
Yes.
A has not taken into the natural factor of evolution of the other person. And then because they have this mindset, they also don't evolve.
They don't.
Have you seen people who remain the same? Like 20 years later, you meet them, you're like, oh my God.
Most of the people
most people are like that. Yeah.
Please, I mean, I see everybody. You know, sometimes I have to even tell my mom, Mommy, you can't think the same way you thought
20 years ago.
Maybe.
It served its purpose.
All right, because you have to think now differently, Mommy. Things are changing, right? And forget about just personal things, even at work and stuff. You know, with my colleague, I do have these conversations sometimes. She said, but you said, you know, last time this is the best way to do it. I said, for that situation, then that time it worked.
Yeah, it was relevant.
Can't work, you know, it can't work at every stage with everything.
Truth which does not hold on to relevancy is not truth at all.
So true.
Any kind of truth has to be relevant to time. To space,
situation,
you know,
to everything. Like, we
are in a dimension, the third dimension is time, space and matter. You have to respect time, you have to respect space, and you have to respect matter. You know, so truth has to be, to express truth, it has to have the relevance of time, space and matter. Otherwise you could be a fanatic or archaic, or it's just kind of a perversion from the truth.
That was deep. That was deep. But you know what?
But that's the way, that is the way of the future.
Exactly.
I feel, you know, back in the old day, people say survival of the fittest. Oh, if you're street smart, if you can fight your way through something, you're going to survive in the world. No, in the world that is to come, if you have that attitude, you're going to destroy yourself
even
and somebody
today,
else.
I think street smartness is not really taken seriously anymore.
Wisdom is the way of the next world.
You know, ancient right now. But still, wisdom. Yeah, talking about it, I think you and I could have had, you know, hours of conversation on this one topic. I see that right now. Oh my God, I would love to do that. But you know what I'm saying? Did you evolve into a different kind of a person? You did something else in the middle too?
See, the seed of it was always there in me.
Totally. I see that right from your childhood.
You know, from the age, the first book, spiritual book that I read was when I came to Pune for high school. Somebody gave me that book, Holy Blood, Holy Grail, right? So
I read that.
I read that, yeah. And I was intrigued by it. I read The Alchemist. I read, started reading Paulo Coelho at the age of 17 or so, you know.
Oh, wow.
So these are the books that I was reading at that point of time. And I was also side by side amateur modeling and then professional modeling. And I had friends. And so there was an all-round development that was happening in my life. It wasn't in one direction. I was also becoming a woman, you know. I was experiencing love and romance. I was also experiencing the spiritual, you know, growth was happening. Like questions, like all those, like,
which you always had anyway. Maybe you were trying to give more answers.
More answers.
Right. I
used to attract these books. Like somebody would come and give me a book, like I never went, like when I
looking for it,
like The Alchemist, that book.
It just came.
Somebody just gave me the book, and I was like, okay,
let me read it.
So I was always attracting that knowledge to myself.
I think everything you've been attracting to yourself, just the way you wanted it.
I think God wants me to have a complete life, a whole life. God does not want me to be good at one thing and then a failure at something else, you know. So, and there is nothing called failure any which ways.
Exactly.
But unbalance.
People can judge it.
Yeah.
Any which way they want, but for you, you enjoy doing whatever you wanted to do, right?
It was a balance.
You were all the time an all-rounder again, right? From school.
Yeah.
You've always been doing everything together, never just one thing.
Never just one thing. I always express myself because that's what human is, right?
Wow.
So anyway, so that was there, the seed.
So did you get into that kind of a thing for some time in the middle?
Yes.
Yeah, when was that?
So, say in 2007, 2008, I was growing increasingly dissatisfied with my life.
Was it something to do with your relationship not going well?
Yes, that friendships not going well.
That really gave you
It was everything. I wouldn't say that was a major factor.
Yeah.
If I had to distribute it, each aspect of my life will get an equal distribution.
Wow.
It was not like just because of a guy or just because of friends or just because of career.
Yeah.
It was
everything together.
Everything together. I came to the realization that A, I'm not happy. B, I need something more. C, something's not right.
I think you're also a girl, from what you spoke so far, you would always want the next thing, right? So in movies, I think there is nothing next. Usually it is like you keep doing the same thing, right?
Exactly.
You wear different dresses, you wear...
I didn't see growth.
I think that could be a big reason for you.
Yeah, it was a big reason.
Maybe
because
you would have liked to work with some big cons for once
stars,
or twice.
Yeah.
But after that, there's nothing more. If you did that with a couple more guys,
then I would be happy, satisfied.
I think, and then you would have been over with it anyway.
Over with it anyways, yeah.
I have a feeling, right? Because there won't be anything for you.
I know it because I had told my friends that once I explore everything that has to be explored in this place, I will leave.
Yeah, you will.
I will move. I will get married. I'll do something.
You'll do something. Yeah.
I wanted to work with.
You were not able to.
I was not able to work with them because
I know it's not easy in Bollywood.
It's not because talent is not the only thing that gets you ahead in life.
No, a lot of things.
You know.
I'm sure.
So that was a frustration because I was like, I can dance well, I can act well. I should be at the top. Why am I not at the top?
I need to be at the top.
I need to be at the top.
I know.
And same thing with the relationship.
Very ambitious.
I like this boy. We get along well. Why is our relationship not getting deeper? Why is it still
at that level?
At that level, it's good, but it's not good enough. It has to be deep. It has to be like a, like Romeo, हीर रांझा का जो legendary love story.
You want to do it, पूरे depth के साथ.
Depth के साथ कि दुनिया याद रखेगी.
Correct. कुछ भी करना वैसे ही करना.
Anything. It has to have the passion and the depth. It can't
just be something.
It can start off like that. It can start off shallow.
It has to grow into something.
It has to grow. It has to develop into something.
It's all about development anyway.
Enterprising. I was always enterprising.
But actually, it's a very nice thing. I know it's a very nice thing. I'm thinking about myself right now while you were talking about it, that I have never thought about that. See, that's why I love this.
Because anything in life starts shallow. You meet friends, you meet them in a coffee shop or another friend's party. It's not deep.
Correct.
But if you become friends with them, then it has to go from depth to depth.
Correct.
It cannot remain like when you meet at a party, any friend, boy or a girl or whatever, you meet at a party or you meet at work or somewhere. Initially, you don't tell each other your secrets.
No.
You keep appearances. Initially, you meet them always with makeup on and hair on, right? Or you try to show yourself as a very good person, even though you may have your own qualities,
You're so right.
But eventually, when you become friends,
there are very few people that we actually let our hair down and be ourselves.
Show ourselves.
Be crazy ourselves.
Right. But even after that, there has to be a depth. It has to go deeper. If it stays stagnant,
no relationship or nothing works actually being stagnant, and somehow nobody seems to be paying attention to it.
Imagine you've known somebody for 10 years and it still feels like you just met them.
Exactly.
You know, you're still trying to prove your point. They're still trying to prove a point to you. There's still ego.
I mean, all these marriages that everybody is discussing not going well, I
it's
think
because they're still strangers.
You know, nothing is growing.
They're still trying to put a face.
Yeah.
They're still trying to prove a point.
Prove a point is the biggest problem.
They're still there where they met.
So true.
You know, they didn't grow into it, and it didn't go into any depth.
And for that to happen,
sacrifice is needed.
No, there has to be something much deeper also, right? It can't happen only on one side, right? Two people will have to together want to, you know, go to those levels. They can't do it alone.
It needs consciousness and awareness.
Totally.
A person has to appreciate depth and value depth.
Yeah.
To look for depth in another person and to show them the depth of who they are.
And even if you are shallow, I'm saying that you have to at least let each other see what you are for real, right? And then we can definitely grow together. If somebody even wants to open up, right? If somebody wants to let you in.
There's so much fear in the world today.
Exactly.
People are afraid.
Everywhere.
People are thinking, you know,
everywhere
people are afraid, and there's fear.
Yes.
And people are also thinking, it's almost like a schizoid attitude that has come into the world, where people are like, before this person harms me, let me harm this person.
All defense mechanism, defense mechanism, or walls and defense mechanism, and just don't let anything come in.
Yeah.
People are worried, scared shit about
something.
About
getting hurt. Getting hurt.
Yes, I feel behind everybody's story, I think that is
pain.
The fear of pain. And I feel that without even knowing about it, why fear it so much? Because you don't even know if it is really going to
happen, and they manifest it.
Yes.
So as a young person, I didn't know all this.
Exactly.
You know, even as a young person, I found it very hard to see adults or
behaving in particular
ways, or even my age group people. They were not as innocent as I was, you know, and there was so much drama. There was so much backbiting and bitching.
I know what you mean.
So, because I had led a very sheltered life, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, in every which way, physically. I was probably not exposed to a lot of things. So when during that phase in my life, and I was also a Bollywood actress, I was also making
maybe
friends.
Out there you're so much more open to a lot of things that you wouldn't have been aware of.
Yeah. Also, as a public figure, you get judged more often.
Totally. What do you mean judged off?
All the time.
All the time.
For your clothes, for everything, you know.
Everything. You do one thing right and you're superb. You do one thing wrong and you're useless.
And being a woman, I think today's world is so judgmental about women anyways.
Oh my God, yes.
So all that got a little too much for me.
For you,
and I decided to take a break.
These frivolous things are not something that will work for you anywhere.
Yeah, and also I feel because I was sensitive, sometimes things used to affect me more than normal people, you know.
Because you dare to feel.
I felt.
Exactly.
I exposed myself to feeling.
I understand.
So I felt all of it, you know.
Of course, you know, when you're actually hiding and building walls, that's when you don't know.
You're protected, yeah.
That's when you don't know, you don't care. But when you actually...
I was very empathic. I used to feel everything, and I used to get tired all the time. So what happened was I got tired, you know. I was shocked and amazed that I used to be like the agony aunt of friends and people all the time.
Because you're an understanding girl.
I was understanding, but when I was having a problem or if I had a trouble, nobody understood. Nobody wanted to understand.
Correct.
So,
but were you really wanting people to understand?
Sometimes when you're in trouble, you want to be believed. You want to
be believed.
You know. You want people to know that I'm not just making up something. If I'm saying I don't like a person, if I'm saying it's for a reason. I'm a reasonable person. You know. But I also saw the world for what it is. They would rather be safe than accept the truth. You know.
Everybody.
Yeah.
I see that. I feel nobody's ready to accept
so much
the truth.
Politics. They will turn on you if if they have the opportunity for their own benefit. So that was something which was very alien to me. For me, if I consider somebody a friend, I have made an unwritten rule in my mind that I will not attack this person, I will stand by this person, and if I think the person is wrong,
I will tell them.
I will correct them, I will tell them, but I will not abandon them.
Correct.
You know?
I mean, that's what friendship
and
is.
I will suss it out if they're actually correct or wrong. I'm willing to be somebody who's wrong. You know, but I will stand by people. I realized that the world doesn't think like that. It was a shock to me.
Correct.
So all of these things
got
led
you out of.
No, it led me to be a spiritual seeker.
Yes.
Took a break.
I think you were always a spiritual speaker.
I was always a spiritual seeker.
You know, from the way whatever you've been talking about, always you had questions. So it's beautiful. So what did you find out?
So during that time, I met some new friends. Just like that, I met them, and I happened to discuss this with a friend of mine. She had recently lost her father, so she was going through a low phase, and she was seeking, you know, some spiritual solace. So I happened to mention it to her one day. We used to exchange books. So we used to meet once a week, exchange books, and then meet the next week with a new book. I told her, oh, you know, babes, I'm depressed, or I'm upset. I'm not happy with my life. She said, oh, I go to this ashram and we learn yoga and meditation. Do you want to come there? You'll feel happy. So I said, yeah, sounds good. Something new.
That's how you went there.
Yeah, I was doing yoga. I was doing yoga, but there was no...
A spiritual angle to it?
There was no spiritual angle to it. It was just, you know...
Doing it for,
health and fitness. So then I started going to this ashram in Coimbatore. It was called the Isha Yoga Center. Before I forget, before this was in 2009, September 2009. In March 2009, I had a very peculiar spiritual experience.
Again?
Before going to the Isha Yoga Center, before the yoga meditation
But you had some spiritual thing even when you won 2004.
2004?
Right? You had some experience.
I had that. And I've had it over the years, dreams, visions. Sometimes if I'm about to make a wrong decision, I will have someone tell me in my dream, warning me about certain things. Things that would have been really dangerous for me. People breaking your heart is not that dangerous, but certain things are very dangerous. Like if you're going and meeting someone and it's not good for you, I will get a warning in my dream. You know, or if I'm about to invest my money somewhere and if that person is a fraud,
you would get a warning?
I would get a warning. Either through a dream or a vision, I would sometimes even hear it, you know.
Kidding me.
I would hear things, short things like, this is a trap. And I'll be like, who spoke?
Are you kidding me?
I've heard it, yeah. And it has turned out to be a trap because I've gotten out of there. Either it's a business venture or a deal or anything, you know. I will get warnings, or sometimes it comes through people also. I'll randomly meet somebody and they'll start talking about that person and be like, do you know, this is what we heard about them. Do you know they have this? And maybe I wouldn't have known. Maybe done a film with them or something, or maybe gotten some kind of investment situation, you know, put in my hard-earned money. So I always had those experiences. What I'm saying, God always protected me from physical harm, psychological harm. God couldn't protect me from not getting heartbroken, but He kept my body and my soul protected. Intact,
yes. Because you know what, I think you're a very evolved person. You know, you understand yourself so beautifully. So I know what you're saying about heartbreak and stuff. Those things, because you're sensitive and you let yourself be, and you want to be able to know the truth, so you will have to feel it. But then you're a strong enough person as a human being to know that because of that, you as a person cannot lose yourself. It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Right? So you are that evolved, you're matured.
It's not worth it because sometimes, you know, some people are at a level of evolution where you can help them, but they don't want the help.
Nobody
you can
wants.
love them, but they don't appreciate your love.
Yes,
so you have to simply take your broken heart and take it somewhere else.
Correct.
You know,
or just keep it.
forgive them,
Exactly.
wish them well, but you have to move away, because they will drag you to where they are, because they don't want to come out of there. That psychology, that way of living, that way of being, that vibration, they don't want to come out of it. You tried to introduce them to a new way of thinking and a life. They want to be there, and someday when their time is there, they'll come out of it. But you got to get out.
Or not.
Yeah, but you can't take a chance being there.
Correct. But that's a good thing you're saying. You know, I think that is another big thing that a lot of us fail to do.
You have to let go.
We don't let ourselves dare to, make that move.
Yeah.
It's
heartbreaking.
Is wrong.
It's painful.
More than, I think there's a lot of fear too.
Yeah, fear of change.
Yeah, fear of change, fear of the unknown most of the times, I think. Because already it's not working. Once you actually already know, that means you're mature enough to understand so much more, but you don't make that move simply because you're afraid. I feel
I knew Bollywood was not working for me.
Yes, definitely.
And there was, people tried to put fear in my mind, saying, oh, but there's so much fame and money, and you're going to leave all that. And what are you going to do? You can't leave it. But because I had this spiritual path, and I used to go to this ashram, and I got Diksha, I was learning yoga and meditation. And 6 months before that, I had a vision of Jesus also. So I met Jesus, this time face to face. Like I saw him face to face. His body is made of light. There's light emanating from, he had a structure of a human, but he was not human. And there was light emanating from him, blinding light. And he spoke to me. I don't remember what he spoke, but when he spoke to me, there was an energy that came out of his being that healed me. It was a very divine kind of an encounter. I can't even put it in words.
I don't think anybody can.
It's very, but I remember it crystal clear, and it was an outer dimension, outer worldly kind of interaction, feeling. 6 months later, I met this spiritual guru, and I don't know why he reminded me so much of this other encounter that I had with God. Little bit he reminded me of, a lot actually, but this was a different thing. It was a yoga, Hindu kind of a spiritual place, so I was drawn to it because of that. And then I learned yoga. I did basic, advanced, intermediate courses. I did all their courses. I learned things, and my lifestyle at that point of time, I stopped doing movies because movies was taking too much time. When you do a film, you're completely involved in it. And then dubbing and
maybe you were not really enjoying it, right?
I had stopped enjoying it, let's put it this way, because I didn't see growth.
The way you're talking about it. So I'm feeling
like there was no growth, I stopped enjoying.
If
it's a relationship where there's no growth, I stop enjoying the relationship. Anything that, any place, any situation, anything that I don't see growth or depth or development, I stop enjoying it. I get bored of it.
Even when you were talking about everything else, and when you came to the movies thingy, you didn't have that twinkle in your eye that you had while you were talking about everything else you were doing.
Also, it was very stressful. It was
the
very,
minute you
very
started
stressful.
talking about the movies also, and movies happened, you said, not in a big way. Like every other thing you were telling me about it, it was a big thing for you. But somehow this one, you were like, but I did my best, you said, and all that, but you were not really into it probably.
I was, I was into it. I gave my 100%.
I'm not talking about that.
I felt as a movie actress, I was judged too much. I felt like I was...
You didn't like all those other things that were happening along with it, maybe.
I enjoyed the acting, I enjoyed the dancing, I enjoyed the popularity, I enjoyed that I now had more money than I knew what to do with. I bought a house, I bought a car, I secured my family, I took care of my sister's education, I gave her a platform. But it left me with a lot of scars, because as a movie actress I was judged. I was a lot of people, like there was a time in my life where I had some issue working on the set with a particular co-actor, and when I complained about it, I heard things like, oh, saw chuhe kha ke billi haj ko chali. which basically you're trying to say that I cannot have a problem because I don't have a character. And who made that judgment? Because I'm a movie actress, I don't have a character. You know, no, I'm a movie actress because I have the talent. And you don't. You know, so I have a lot of anger and angst from my time as a movie actor, because I feel like the world does not appreciate and respect artists.
They don't.
No, because they don't have the talent, they don't have the art in them. They look down on artists, you know. An artist is somebody who lives life on the sensitive side. An artist is somebody who has the courage to bare their soul and let people see them, you know, with their feelings, with their brokenness.
Artists are the only people that have a lot of sensitivity.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it cannot be
an
artist.
And we expose our sensitivity.
And they cannot be artists if they are not sensitive.
Yeah.
Correct?
We expose our sensitivity. We are born with this talent that is inherent to us. It's a gift from God.
It's a gift from
God. Yet, people don't respect artists, you know. They look down, and you know, you come across people whose attitude is like, why are they so popular, why are they getting paid so much, karte kya hai, you know. So that is the reason it has left a very bad taste in my mouth, because for as long as I was an actor, I always sensed this judgment, even from within the industry.
Within mostly, maybe.
Within also, without also, it just seemed like people didn't see me the way I saw myself. I saw myself as this fantastic being.
Correct.
You know,
which you are.
Full of talent, full of light, joy, love. Gifted beyond, you know, comprehension. So,
and also very hardworking.
Very hardworking.
Yeah, very enterprising.
You know, enterprising.
So wanting to do better.
Despite all the opposition.
Motivated,
Despite all the opposition. You see so much opposition. There is nepotism, there is favoritism, there is so much that you fight to get to where you are. And when you don't get appreciated for it or don't get respected for it, again, appreciation, growth is what leads to motivation.
Correct.
You know, the theme of my life is appreciation and growth. It's human.
Correct.
When I become God, I will not care about appreciation and growth, because then I will be the alpha.
Then I don't need it.
I'll be the alpha and omega. But as long as I'm human, I will expect appreciation. I will expect growth, and these are the two things that will motivate me.
But you know what? Growth is something that is totally dependent on the person, right? But
it's not even like I was like, oh, I have to be the number one. No, any kind of growth.
Correct.
When you see growth, it's not like when you're in a relationship with a person, you think that, oh, I want to marry them and have like 12 kids. No.
Correct.
Growth can be anything as long as it's dynamic.
Correct.
As long as it feels like you're not with a, you know, as long as you don't feel like you're a dead body.
You're doing better roles, you're doing better stuff. No, I get that.
Better.
No, what I was trying to tell you was, you said growth and appreciation, right? So I was wanting to talk to you about, I wanted to question you about that. Growth is totally dependent on you, the way you want it, your trajectory to be, etc. But when you say expectation, appreciation, you can't expect from anybody anything, right?
That's true, but you know, as human beings, you end up expecting.
But you have always been a very, very evolved person, so much self-made.
That's the reason I leave. I leave because I want growth and I want appreciation.
Growth is again, appreciation. When you're saying, I want to understand, because a woman with your kind of intelligence.
Appreciation means, like, you know, at least acknowledge.
Respect what you're doing, I guess. I understand.
At least acknowledge that I have the potential to do the kind of projects that you're giving to somebody else because of your own calculation.
Correct.
You know,
everybody has their own agenda.
Everybody has their agenda.
Correct.
You know, if that is appreciation, because, you know, growth is appreciation.
But maybe that is not appreciation, is what I'm thinking. You know, because these people are not, first of all, doing something
right.
Right. Yeah, let's say they're not doing the right thing.
People don't live rightly, I feel, in the world.
What is good for them at that time, what works for them, right? It could be so many factors, right? So they do that. So first of all, They're not even doing that comparison. And I'm only saying this to you. I wouldn't have maybe said it to somebody else if it was someone else, because they do not have that much of understanding either. But because I'm seeing you as a person that speaks so highly from the way the rest of the world speaks. So I'm just trying to understand, why would you think that was lack of appreciation? Because it's got nothing to do with appreciation or disapproval. They are just doing it to make their ends meet. They're
but
just doing their own thing. You felt it that
I
time.
feel that. I always feel that, you know, and that's why I always leave.
Oh.
And that's why I feel, I know this, I can be anywhere and leave anytime if I feel underappreciated.
Maybe that's not the word to use, possibly, Tanu. You know, because if you say underappreciated, then you are
I felt that. Sometimes I felt that, you know, I worked so hard.
And you did not get what you want.
And I did not get acknowledged for my hard work. Maybe because I make it look so easy.
But maybe this is, when did people really acknowledge anybody for something real?
Yeah, never.
Tell me about it.
That's true. But
isn't it?
I sometimes feel like I think I make it look very easy being me.
Yes,
it's not.
I know what you mean, because people think that Avani is always happy, she's full of energy.
It's not easy.
I'm working very hard to make sure everything that I don't like is being pushed back.
You know, being a good person is the hardest thing in the world, because it requires sacrifice.
On your own front.
And
nobody even knows about it.
Nobody even knows about it.
Yes.
I've helped people at the cost of my own discomfort.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
I have, you know, sometimes you have to sacrifice your ego, you have to sacrifice your insecurity to help someone, or to be there for them, or to be good to people.
Totally.
It doesn't make me weak.
No.
It just means that I have strength.
You're strong.
You know? So I always felt like I was not appreciated.
And also that you can care enough to go beyond yourself.
Yeah, for somebody who's not even related to me.
And Tanu, that's not something that everybody can do it. Okay?
But then when you see people turn around and think that you're
not
stupid,
good enough. Yeah,
or
it's
you're
okay.
yeah,
it's okay, right?
And then you're like, no, that's not what it was. It's because I feel like I wouldn't be here today if somebody had not helped me somewhere along the way.
Every step of the way, everywhere.
Everywhere. We all grow in life because somebody somewhere helped us, or many people helped us in small different ways at different points of time.
Absolutely.
So naturally that gratitude is there in us.
Yes.
So when we get to a position.
How many people know to do that, Tanu? How many people know to appreciate it? Tell me. Because
So
you're
that's
a good
appreciation,
person.
right?
Because you're a good
I have
person,
it.
right?
I have it.
Even I have it. You know, I'm all out appreciating.
So why can't others
people,
have it?
But they don't. And you know what? Somehow I have learned in my life, because I loved speaking to you today in a very different level, because for some reason I felt that I do have so many things in common with you. You know, the way I am so much more evolved and matured than many people around me, I would say. I would even say I'm much more mature than my own parents. You know, I know that for a fact, okay? I don't really have to feel great or shy about it, okay? They're great parents. My parents are awesome. They themselves are intellectuals at their own level, but I know that I have so much more maturity when there are times when I would be able to, you know, talk, you know, coming up from where I am.
Yeah,
right?
they probably have the experience to complement your maturity and wisdom.
Or they at least just take it,
Yeah.
what I say to them, right? But I have learned one thing in life: nobody appreciates anything.
Like you were saying something, I was listening to you and I was like, yeah, that does make sense. It's not like they're actively trying to hurt me by being unappreciative.
Correct.
It's just that sometimes
just
people
don't
are so within themselves
the
and
time.
closed
Actually, all
and
the
selfish
time, Danu.
that they don't
All the
realize
time.
what they're doing.
All the time, I feel. It's not just sometimes. They do not know how to appreciate. That's the biggest problem in the world.
It's like if they've taken away an opportunity from you, it's not because they want to hurt you, it's probably because they're selfish.
They are only thinking
And
about themselves.
yeah.
What will get them to the next step?
Yeah,
That's
or
about
what
it.
will-
They can't care enough about you to think that अच्छा भी मैं plan करके इसको नीचे डालता हूँ. नहीं. अगर इतना भी अगर लोग सोचने लगते ना एक दूसरे के बारे में तो बहुत अच्छा होता.
Correct.
I feel people don't. Nobody cares. You know?
Yeah,
I
I got it.
seriously feel that nobody really cares, and it's okay because they're not doing it really on purpose. They just don't feel it. So it's okay. Right?
True.
Yeah. Anyway, for me, I need to feel okay about it, not to be bothered about it. Let me put it that way. I have got this thing inside me. The way I have worked it out is, I really understand. The truth is, nobody is really doing it to me. That is actually the truth. I'm not make-believing it, right? Nobody has that much time to think about you at every step, that they'll be doing so many things to make you upset or something, right? They're just working on their own problems.
Is their own radio channel.
Exactly.
Is their own tape recorder that's playing.
That's it. It's just going on.
It's not personal.
It's not
I have
personal.
realized that in life, that many times that you feel hurt, or you feel like you've been shortchanged,
correct,
or undercut.
Yes, and sometimes
it's never
very
been personal.
evident too.
Evident too, yeah.
Yes, it is evident too.
It's not personal.
No, it's not.
And that was very helpful to realize it.
Yes.
And that was liberating even.
Yes, it makes things easy for you, Tanu?
To accept life and situations.
Once you accept things, I always feel, that all these things can be understood and interpreted and worked on the way you want it, once you know the truth.
Yes.
Once you know the truth.
It is never personal,
actually. If we are
actually.
running away from the truth, then we are never getting to anything. And we are just hurting ourselves more than anybody else in the process. And my mantra, unknowingly, till now, and now knowingly, is that I do not want anything to hurt me, bother me so much that it would take away the smile from me.
True.
It's not worth it, I feel. होता है कभी-कभी, I do want to cry very badly, and I will cry maybe for 2 or 3 minutes. I will. I will cry. It really hurts me that much. It does. You're sensitive. People, human beings, right? It happens. So I do that, and I just leave it. I'm done with it. I'm done with it.
Same here. I release it, I finish it.
Yes.
And I never look back. I move on.
Never look back.
There's one thing that I always feel like everybody, life, God, nature has a way of balancing everything out.
Yes.
And, I have learned to forgive, let go. I don't hold on to things in my heart because it's only going to poison me. I try to understand and make sense of things.
Yes.
And I have realized that the world is not fair. It is not a fair world. And sometimes when you're sensitive, I know that God makes up for it, because there's also another thing, like I attract things, right? Sometimes I experience miracles.
See?
Which many people don't, because they have to, because they don't believe, and
Correct.
they don't have those blessings.
They don't.
So
Correct.
perhaps God has to make up for my sensitive side.
Yes.
And because I feel hurt more often than
Correct.
usual,
Yes.
God has given me that gift also
Yes.
to attract blessings.
So true.
Like,
So true.
I came to America, like I had 6-7 years of spiritual path. I studied different religions. I studied the Gospels also.
Did you shave your head also at one point
Yeah.
of time?
I was doing Buddhism that time.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So shaved my head, I was deep into it. And I experienced that, I did feel detached at that point of time to my physical body, because hair gives us vanity, hair gives us a sense of identity.
Wow.
So when I shaved my head, I experienced what do monks really feel like,
Wow.
initially. And then of course I spent many years studying the Christian Gospels, and they have had a profound influence on my life. The message of Christ. And then at one point of time I felt
Somehow that drew you.
it has always drawn me. Like I had a vision
that
of
from the beginning.
Christ
Yes,
at the
yes,
beginning. That
yes,
Christian girl
yes,
met me.
yes,
I
yes.
accepted Christ. Even before the Miss India pageant, when I first came to Bombay, though I was born and brought up in a Hindu family, I never wanted to go to a temple. I always wanted to go to a church.
Something is strange. You know what? Me, right from when I was young, I'm also from a Hindu family, but even in the temple, instead of doing this, I would do this.
Yeah.
For whatever
I'm
reason.
always drawn to
I have
churches.
no idea. I love the churches. I wanted to get married in a white gown. In a church.
Like I'll go to a temple, I'll think of prasad. Like, I'll do jo bhi main prasad. I have never asked for anything in a temple. I've never prayed and asked for anything, because somehow I feel like nobody's listening. But
Really?
I don't know, I just feel that way.
And
but when I go to a
I do not
church,
ask any God. I don't ask God anything. Ever. I just feel He's just there for me as whenever I need some extra confidence, when I need some reassurance, I just go there and say, I want to feel better and stronger. That's about it. But I can't ask anything. I just feel.
When I was young, I never asked anything actually. But as I grew older and I realized how you don't have control over anything in your life, I learned to ask God because my parents taught me never to ask any human being anything, and I also learned it from my experience that they were right.
Yes.
Because if you're asking people for something, then they take it as an excuse to have power over you.
Correct.
And the only person who can have power over you and not hurt you is God. But human beings, if you allow them to know that they have power over you,
they're going to leave you alone.
They're going to try and take advantage of it, right?
Yes,
so that is probably why my mother always taught me, never ask for anything from anybody. If they give it to you and if you need it, accept it humbly.
Correct.
But don't ask anybody. You tell us what you need and we'll see. If you really need it, we'll give it to you.
Wow.
So that has always been there.
That's very true, Nobody ever told me anything like that, Tanu, but I never asked anybody anything ever. All by myself.
Because
I just didn't feel like.
People are not gracious enough to give you what you ask for out of compassion, because they feel like, oh, this person needs help right now at this point of time. First thing they will think is, ab aaya ut pahad ke niche.
Exactly.
How do I take advantage of this? How do I twist it to my advantage?
So
this is
though.
human nature.
So sad though. And people sometimes unknowingly also do that. It's not as if everybody is planning. But I think once you give in, once you've given yourself to somebody,
it's an intrinsic human nature which is corrupt. When people have asked me for help, I never think like that. I think, how can I help this person? What can I do for this person? Okay, let me see where and how I can do something. It doesn't even occur to me that this person is now lower than me or higher than me. Utna nahi samajhta mere ko.
Correct.
I see that I do something for somebody, I will get the blessings from God.
I know.
Or
maybe we're not even thinking that, right? When we help, we help.
Yeah, we help.
Right, yeah. Who is thinking कि बाद में
कुछ नहीं,
भगवान कुछ करने वाले हैं, उतना सोच के तो time नहीं रहता.
Out of the goodness of your heart, you do something.
Yeah, you have to feel it.
If you
feel it, you do it, you're done with it. Wow. You know what, Tanu, I think I could speak with you like this for hours and hours.
It was fun talking to you actually. We have to edit the interview to make it like fit into TV format.
I guess actually we'll actually make it to 2 hours maybe. We'll make it 2 episodes because it's so beautiful. Loved it. Loved every bit of it. And I don't know, so finally at this point of time, okay, what do you think about what you want to do with your life and where it is taking you?
So I came to America. The last 5-6 years were very strange because I was now actively pursuing the spiritual path. God was trying to tell me that it's time for a change, and I think God was leading me to a new life. I have had dreams and visions of this new life, but I cannot tell you clearly for sure what it would entail. If I'm going to be an actress, or if I'm going to be what I'm going to be exactly, or maybe it's going to be a mix of a whole different bunch of things. It's not going to be very unidimensional. It's going to be very multidimensional.
So you mean to say that you're actually thinking in terms of another career again?
No, I'm just going with the flow because
exactly.
I'm getting opportunities related to this field, which is the strangest thing. I wasn't even trying to do it.
After you took a break and completely doing something different, people are bringing you in front of the camera again?
They're always there. Like in India, I keep getting offers from television, from movies, from South movies, from Bengali films. They have not accepted the fact that I'm not there anymore. They're stuck in a time loop.
Okay, good for you.
Good for me, yeah, because they keep talking about it, write articles about me.
Why not?
But they have not accepted that I have moved past it. They still think I'll come back.
Okay.
When I post on my Instagram, or when I something comes out.
Are you very active on social media?
I have an Instagram account. It's the Instagram handle is I am Tanushree Dutta official. I just started it recently.
Okay.
And I see the comments sometimes people make. It looks like they've not realized it, that I've kind of left, you know. They say, oh, when do we see you again? What is your next movie? So that is the attitude there in India. But now I'm in America. I want to live in America and I want to work here.
Oh.
So I moved to America a year and a half back. Because
any particular reason?
I had a vision from God. I saw my life in America.
Seriously?
I saw it. Yeah, I saw a vision. It was like a slideshow. I saw it, that this is where I'm going to be. Maybe I'll work in different parts of the world.
Yeah.
But it was very clear given to me.
This is where you're going to be living.
This is where you have to be.
Wow.
So now that I'm here, I do photo shoots. I collaborate with different photographers, photo shoots and events. I do a lot of events as celebrity guest appearances.
Correct.
These things just come to me.
Correct.
Like I'm not really chasing after them.
You don't have to, yeah.
People like locally, people are collaborating on movie projects and things like that. So I keep getting asked for it. But if you ask me, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
I don't really have anything particular in mind.
Okay.
But
I think it will come to you when you really want to, right? I think for now you're like busy with your curious mind.
Yeah, I'm just here and I've not really had I've had a lot of time to think what exactly am I going to do, because I keep getting called back.
But do you really have to do something?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I don't have to. I don't have to.
I never think about it,
I don't have to, yeah. But you understand it. How do I explain other people? People are like, what are you going to do? And I want to tell them, do I have to do something?
Exactly.
Do I have to be something?
No.
I think I'm good enough.
You're
the
happy where you are right now in your state of mind.
One teacher of mine, one spiritual guru of mine once said, why are people called human being? Because the way they behave, they should be called human doing.
Doing something or the other all
because
the time.
Even the way of greeting is how do you do?
How do you do?
What are you
doing? What are the kids doing? Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yes.
So,
yes.
It made sense to me.
Makes sense.
A lot of things this person said so many years ago, it's slowly making sense. It made sense to me back then also, but I understand. I just want to be.
Yeah, you just want to be.
And the doing will happen.
Yes.
Like, I got an opportunity. Like, recently I did a photo shoot. Our pictures came out so well.
Wow. Where can we see them?
Instagram. On my Instagram.
Yeah.
All of my latest pictures.
Definitely.
And whatever I'm up to is out there on Instagram, because I'm not on social media that big.
Yeah.
But Instagram is
what I like.
I
just got into Facebook 5-6 months ago.
It's so complicated. I don't get it.
I don't get it so much, but you know what? I'm loving the publicity that I need to do for my show. So I think it's perfect platform,
Instagram is also good. You should check it out.
I should.
You post pictures. You can also post videos and live feeds.
Yes. Awesome. You know what? I'm going to do that. All right, and I don't know, we will definitely cross paths again is what I feel strongly. I don't know why, but I do feel it. All right, so maybe we will.
Yes, absolutely.
I have a feeling. Sometimes you just get it. And I'm thinking, no, I'm not just saying bye to her for now. It is just for now. All right, maybe we will be, right? And we don't know.
I'm pretty sure we'll meet again.
Right? Yes, I have a feeling that too. That's perfect. Okay, so this dream girl of mine, all right, comes after a decade of, when I was dreaming of, dancing with your song and stuff in 2005 to 2017 now. It's a full circle. Things happen. You don't know they will ever happen, but they still do. And today I came to know so many more beautiful things about you. I mean, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable, the level of your understanding, and maybe I still won't understand your what you talked about, seeing God and being able to get those visions.
That is difficult to understand.
But you know what? I don't find that funny, though. By the way, I don't. Okay, because you'll have to feel it to know it.
Yeah, it's something that you experience and perceive.
Yes,
and that experience you don't have with your 5 senses. Like, we have these 5 senses with which we experience this world, this material world. Right. Sight, sound, taste, smell, touch, right? When you have an experience with God, or when people say, I had a spiritual experience, I met God.
Correct.
It is that experience happens from a faculty beyond these 5 senses. So now For a long time, I would feel very timid about talking about it because I didn't want people to think that I'm like cuckoo.
No.
But as my personality has developed, as I've become more outspoken, I know that they will not think that, because if they've even heard me 1%,
yes,
they know that I'm a very reasonable, logical person,
totally.
who speaks her mind.
You're putting things in perspective, by the way. So you know what? Once you have the
so they know that there was some experience. We haven't had it. We don't know it, but it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. And I wish for everybody to have that experience.
But you know something?
Because it
Today's
changes
world
you.
is actually trying to get up towards it. Why do you think these, yogas and all these babas are becoming more and more and more and more popular than they ever were?
Yeah.
Okay, they are totally. People are all trying to seek the truth and stuff that they're talking about. What's your reality? Who is the real you? What you really should be, etc., etc. These questions, because they've got so lost in this world. So totally not even understanding their own selves, which is sad. Nobody stopped them. They did, but now they're all going back to it. So I think nobody is ever going to think anything else but that. You already reached a place where they all want.
Sorry.
I would think that.
Also, when I had these experiences, I felt they were more real than this world.
That's why they call it spiritual.
The stuff of this world today to me feels more illusionary,
That's what it's supposed to
At
be.
one point of time, I thought this was real
Reality.
and that was a dream.
Correct.
Today, my perspective has shifted. That is real. This is a dream.
Correct.
Correct. Everything in this world, because anything that is not eternal in nature is an illusion.
So true.
Anything that's temporary and transient is an illusion.
And actually, life is that.
Yeah, we feel hurt, we suffer because we have given too much importance to illusion and we are not seeking the truth. So that's what is happening in the world today. People are seeking the truth because the illusion has hurt them. They are done with it.
It's gone too far.
It's don't go too far. They've gotten so entangled in it, and they're not deriving satisfaction from it. They're not deriving real pleasure and satisfaction. So then they are seeking the truth, and God is what? Is love and truth. Everybody needs love, and everybody needs to know the truth.
Exactly.
So people are out seeking, and then they seek it.
You're in paradise if you don't know the truth, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So you can tell yourself, I'm really happy.
Exactly.
Prove it to other people. Click pictures.
People are
and
doing it. People are doing it. But nobody really feels it. That's why the explanations.
That's the social media boom. Exactly. Is one person trying to prove another person that we're so happy,
Correct.
But neither is. It's like a virtual world.
I know.
Virtual friendships. Everything is virtual.
So true.
Nothing
real.
And you're seeing somebody else's life and you're feeling, wow, so cool. I wish I had that life.
Correct.
Oh no, you don't even know.
nothing about that life. Exactly.
Yeah. It's all make-believe.
Just because it's picture perfect.
Yeah.
And it's not even as if somebody's trying to make you believe it, is what I feel. They are just
subconsciously, there is an attempt to connect.
Yeah.
There is also an attempt to at least have a perfect life in virtuality.
I think that is a part of, again, that is very much a thing that comes naturally to us,
to people,
right? That we have to behave in a certain way.
Yeah, we have to believe that we are happy, at least to even feel happy.
Maybe
sometimes.
It's not even talking about happiness. It's your perfect clothes, it's your perfect smile, it's your perfect pose, it's your perfect home, it's your perfect job, right?
Yeah.
It's actually, nobody is even going beyond it. Okay? But every picture we see, I feel, we are, thinking that, oh my God, they're doing so well. Okay? They are actually talking only about the materialistic stuff over there. They're wearing their best clothes. They're giving their best pose. They're showing us their best homes and everything. So actually, they're just showing off whatever they have achieved, and that is good.
That's good.
That is good,
it's a good
right?
thing. Yeah.
Through their hard work, whatever they have achieved and earned, they're showing it to you. That just doesn't give you
we all do that, right?
Ticket. Yeah, we all do that. Doesn't give you a ticket to say that somebody's showing out that they're having a happy life.
We all do that. We wear something nice. We want to pose.
We want to pose and show it. So what's wrong in that?
There's nothing wrong. I mean,
so
I enjoy it.
Nobody needs to think, right? Nobody needs to think that
Some-
somebody's showing. But people say that, Tanu. They actually say that. You know, they're seeing others' pictures and thinking, but that's you who is thinking. The person who put the picture is not thinking that way.
Yeah. No, but I know that because I feel like social media is a blessing and a curse as well, because you know, that's why I've limited my interaction with social media, because I don't want to get too involved in it.
Yes.
But I enjoy it. Like,
Correct.
I like to show off on social media. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Nothing
Yeah.
wrong about it. And you're not even really showing off. You know what I feel about Facebook? I mean, these many years I was never on Facebook. I'm so much a people's person. I'm always talking to people, but I never went on social media, not because I did not want to. It did not just take me there.
Yeah,
You
same
know,
here. Same
I was
here.
so busy
Yeah.
with people around me that I didn't really think that I'll have to go there and maybe look for my friend that I'm already speaking to here.
Yeah.
So it didn't make sense to me. All right.
Yes.
So that's why I did not go there.
Same
all
here,
right?
same here.
But today,
Yeah.
when I started going,
It's also because when we are in the public eye, it's also a very good PR tool.
It
you
is the
know,
best.
to let people out there know what work you're doing.
it's the best place
Yeah, it's-
for that, right? Because my
I'm gonna
job.
figure it out soon.
Very true. You have to, because
have
you know
to.
I felt that this is a new platform. Okay, I wanted it to be introduced to people. My job is what do you call global presence. All right, this television is global. So my job is publicity, branding, advertising, etc. globally. So I thought I had to start my publicity stunt somewhere. Let me start with myself on
Yeah,
the Facebook, correct? And in these 6 months, I've gone far and wide.
Oh,
Which is unbelievable, and it is because of the social media. I would
You have
say.
to teach me Facebook.
I will.
I got
I will.
so
I'm not very
confused.
good at it, but I'm learning it. But another great thing that I observed was that social media, let's talk only about Facebook for now, because that's the only place I'm there right now. I'm thinking it is a beautiful place, because in this entire world, I think there is only this one place where everybody says good things only about to everybody.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Just think about
You
it.
don't have trolling on Facebook, right?
No.
I think I'm actually thinking about this Facebook thing. I tried it. It was too complicated for me, so I shut it down.
I thought it is a very nice place, because everybody's saying you look beautiful, you did this very well, oh, you made this, that looks so yum. So good things. People are saying only and only and only good things about each other.
Actually, as a
Isn't
business,
that a good word?
yeah, as a business tool, I think social media is great.
Besides business, I'm saying that
Even
personally
personally?
it is making you feel good, isn't it? Where else are you finding people that are saying anything? Like you were talking earlier about being appreciated. You had a problem in life because of that,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So tell me
was a
about
big
it.
problem.
This world is filled with
That's
nobody
true.
wanting to appreciate.
Maybe I should have gone on Facebook back then.
I'm seriously thinking, Tanu, you should give it a
It may
thought.
have been therapy for me.
So true. And I want to ask everybody out there watching us right now, okay, don't you think this is the only place where, everybody,
thought
whether
about
they
it.
know you or they do not know you, even strangers, only say something nice to you, about you.
Yeah, because they don't have an option to, they don't have
Then
a like
they
or
don't
a
have to
dislike.
talk.
Yeah,
No, then
yeah.
they don't have to talk, right?
But
Nobody's
you're actually,
forcing.
you're right about it, because I never had that perspective that social media can actually be such a wonderful way to interact with people and positive. I never thought of it, and I never realized that it can actually work on so many different dimensions.
Yes, I never knew it
like
either.
in your business, in your
Yes,
work,
in your work.
and even personally.
And personally.
Perhaps it's a good thing then.
I actually felt it, because these are my 6 months, my first 6 months in it. I've heard a lot of people taking, oh my God, it's such a waste of time, and people are wasting their time, etc., etc. And I'm saying, even if they're wasting time
If you
in
go
a place
actually-
where they're only saying good things,
Then it's not bad.
repeatedly.
I see what you're saying. What you're saying is, if you go into it with the right attitude, it's a good place. It's a good thing that can come out of
Yes,
it.
yes.
Yeah, as like there are a lot of kids who go into it as a way of self-validation. Then that's not good, because then they get caught up in it.
Yes.
But when you're older, you're more mature. You know how to use the platform.
So true.
Then,
but even in talking about self-validation, I think it's very good, because over there everybody's going to be talking only positive about you. They don't write a single thing that says, this is not nice, or you should not do this. Go and check.
Okay,
For
no,
now
I have
I have
noticed
like
that.
around 3,500 friends right now, and so far I have not seen a single place. So it's not just about only your page, right? You have all those 3,500 pages as well. Nowhere do you see anybody saying that something is not nice. It's a place where they're saying, so I think it can build your self-worth if you have self-worth issues. Wow, you know what, Tanu? I don't know if I sit like this with you. Yes, it's never going to end. Yeah, but it's just a feeling that I shared, right? You think about it.
Cautionary, discretionary caution.
Caution, okay.
Do not try this at home.
Why not?
No, I mean, we've spoken some weird stuff, right? Meeting God and going out of the body and stuff like that. Children, do not try this at home. Watch this interview under parental guidance. You have to put PG-13.
No.
On this interview.
I think all the kids also should see it, all right? Everybody out there can watch it. This was a fabulous experience. Thank you so much, Tanu. I can't thank you enough, okay, for this wonderful experience that I've had.
Thank you, Ani, for letting me be here.
Thank you so much. And before we go, can you quickly do with me? UVW. That is United Voice of Women.
UVW, United Voice of Women.
This is a wrap.
Please edit.
Thank you so very much, everybody, for keeping it right here. Enjoyed this. I cannot tell you how much I loved it. And for now, I have to say tara bye-bye, cheerio, and I can't wait to see you next week once again. But remember, keep smiling and be good and take care of yourself. And don't you forget, I love you.